Really glad that you all are here. Welcome to the KPC It Matters launch party. There may not be any launches or any partying during this this half hour, but the name is in spirit. We are launching and having a party about It Matters in spirit. So glad that you all are here. My name's Chad Childs. I'll talk a little bit later. Him, I work as Prevention Initiatives Manager at Wichita State University's Community Engagement Institute, and we are partners with the Kansas Prevention Collaborative. And I am going to stop talking and pass it to our star of the launch party, Abby Wind.
Hi, I'm so glad you guys are all here. My name is Abby Wind. My pronouns are she, her, and I work with prevention initiatives here at WSU's Community Engagement Institute. I am not the star of the show. The star of the show is our new It Matters materials, which you are all here to see. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. First, we're going to show you a video, sort of an overview of what you can expect the website to provide for you. Then we're going to talk about reasons why we decided to change some of the materials. We're going to give you a demonstration of how to use the materials for your own coalitions, your own organizations, how it can benefit you guys. And then lastly, we'll have some requests for feedback and some questions and answers. So first, I'm going to share our video. So let me pull that up real quick and share sound. All right.
Upon arriving at the site, you can use the menu at the top to select Home, Young Adults, or Youth for ease of navigation. Scrolling down, you'll see a quick note about the power of perception, which is a summary of the science behind the campaign and described more in the PDF at the bottom of the home page. Further down, you'll see a tile for young adults and a tile for youth. Clicking on each tile will take you to the main page of the currently available graphics and sizes for 9 assets each. You can also click on the buttons for young adult materials or youth materials to take you to the same pages. Below the resources is a note about how the files are free and available to download for the user's own communication and sharing. They can be customized, and if assistance with this task is needed, they can contact the WSU CEI Prevention Initiatives team with the email provided. Here's the PDF with background and sources for the content. When navigating to both the young adult and the youth pages, users will find a button to download all files if desired. Scrolling down will take the users to a table of contents by topic with the opportunity to jump to each of the 4 types of substances of focus. An example image of each substance's files is next, with buttons to select the different sized resources below. The example image points to where an organization's or coalition's logo can easily be added, keeping the KPC It Matters logo unaltered. Alcohol is first, followed by marijuana, and then tobacco, and then finally prescription drugs. There is also a button that can be used to download all prescription drug files, and similarly for each of the 4 types of substance.
So now we're going to speak about reasons why we've decided to change the It Matters materials.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. So far in our launch party, we have had music, which Dan had asked where it was. And we've had I saw some of you dancing a little bit, maybe swaying, and we've had a video. So this really is a party. For some background on It Matters, the previous It Matters materials served their purpose well, and offered a lot of images and creative assets for coalitions to use. Relevant especially to the time they were created and substance use patterns and even how we were talking about substance use at that time. As we all know, substance use and misuse is changing, and we're learning more about the importance of how we talk about substances and how it's critical to avoid sharing prevention messages that may be triggering to those in recovery or stumbling blocks that could encourage use. So for the KPC, staff members of prevention initiatives at Wichita State's Community Engagement Institute and DECA have been reviewing the most used It Matters assets from the past, including the number of items and sizes that were used most often by prevention coalitions. The all new It Matters materials have been carefully and strategically designed using knowledge gained from the Montana Institute. All materials will meet Kansas Prevention Collaborative guidance to be positive, inclusive, and empowering. That's PI. Positive, inclusive, and empowering for priority audiences in the state and consistent with current social norms and marketing research. So we got PI also at this party. The power of perception is included in a PDF document that's on the website to give a little bit more context so that we're showing an engaging image and some engaging information, and then also linking you to a place where you can learn and share some information. So that PDF document will be available to download if you want on the website. And it talks about the perception of peers' use and misuse of substances and how it's a significant risk factor influencing individual use and misuse patterns. The purpose of these It Matters assets is to portray the positive experiences youth and young adults have without using or misusing substances. The data supporting these materials demonstrates that while the perception might be that everyone is doing it, youth and young adults themselves report a wide majority do not use the identified substances. Youth and young adults can live their lives without the use of substances that could cost them their future, lives, money, time, energy, and well-being. So we're really excited about this launch and the materials. It's been a long time coming. We recognize that we haven't included every topic, every substance, every delivery mechanism like vaping, but we're starting somewhere. We're starting with 4 commonly used substances or most commonly used substances. And we intend to go through the next year with some focus groups to review the materials, review the impact of the words and the images, and help us design future materials that will be just as engaging and empowering. So I think that's all for my time about a little bit about the history and context. I could tell you more probably later, maybe on a Friday night. Sometime we could have a Friday night It Matters history party, but I'm going to pass it back to Abby.
Thanks, John. So at this time, for those of you who would like to use these resources with your own logo for your own purposes, I'm going to demonstrate an easy way to add your own logo to these without like physically printing them and then printing a sticker and putting it on. So instead of doing all that work, you can just do it digitally and then print it however you want. So my favorite way of doing this is by using Canva, which is a free resource. You don't need to pay for the you don't need
subscription.
to pay for this. Yes, thank you, Heather. In order to do what I'm about to show you. So if you don't have a Canva account, it's free to download. So first we're going to start with the website, itmatterskansas.org, and we'll go there. Let's make sure this works. Okay, there we go. Itmatterskansas.org should take you to this website. And first we're going to download materials that we would like to use in order to add our logo. So I'm going to just go straight to the youth resources. And then for my purpose, let's say that I want to share an Instagram post with my logo on it. So I'm going to start with alcohol, and I'll click the Instagram graphic, which is going to pull up an image that I can then right click, save image as, and then I'm just going to save it to my downloads. Once there, I'm going to go over to my Canva, and what I did here is I just created a blank design up here in the top, an Instagram post square. And so it just brings you a blank canvas where you can just do whatever you would like. But for the purpose of what we want to do, I'm going to upload what I just downloaded from the website. Once it does that, click it. We'll have to drag it to resize to make it the perfect Instagram size. And so here I have a blank canvas where I can add my own logo. What I've already done is I've already uploaded my logo, but for some of you, you might need to go ahead and do that. And so I'm just going to add the Kansas Prevention Collaborative logo down here in the bottom right corner. And so you can see there's plenty of space for you to add your own. I would recommend putting it in the bottom left corner because of readability. It's a lot easier to read where it's more white down here. One thing I do want to add is your logo might not have a transparent background like this one does. And if that's the case, then you'll just click on the image, click edit photo right here, and then hit BG remover, which is background remover. And that should do a pretty good job of removing any background that your logo might have. So I'm going to go ahead and place it right here. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe a little, yeah, right there. You can change the title. So I'll say it matters youth alcohol. And this will just automatically save to your account. Once you are ready to download it, you'll click share, download right here. And then if you're putting it on social media or something, PNG is perfect. If you're planning on printing it, I would suggest doing either PDF standard or PDF print, and then clicking download, and that will download straight to a file on your computer. So we're going to save it right there. So at this point, you can do whatever you want with that document that you just saved. One last thing I'm going to say is that if you missed something that I said, if I glazed over it really fast, what I just showed you is right here in its own video on the website, how to add your own logo. So if you need to go back and watch that process again, this is available to you here at the bottom of every page on the website. And if this is completely overwhelming and you just don't want to deal with it, which is understandable, feel free to send us an email and we can help you out in any way that you need. So at this point, I would love to ask you guys if there is anything that you would like me to demonstrate on this website or putting logos or anything like that.
I have a question that I'm sure will probably come up. Since they can alter it by putting a logo on there, is it allowable if they wanted to put any local data that would, like if it says most youth don't, that maybe they would want to put their own data showing that? Is that allowable?
Yeah, absolutely. That's encouraged even. For example, I actually had some cards printed for Y-Link advocacy today or tomorrow at the Capitol. And on the front of the card, I had one of those graphics. And then on the back of the card, I put some of our own information about the power of perception and everything. And so if you need more space, there's always the back of whatever you print off. But yeah, if they want to add it directly on there, that's absolutely, that would be wonderful. And it sounds like maybe we need to have a Canva tutorial party that that can be arranged. What other questions do you guys have? I will stop sharing. Yes, Chad.
We we've tried to take the feedback that many of you had shared about the previous It Matters website and the order materials page as well. I tried to incorporate that into this redesign, relaunch. We probably did not think of or address everything and every concern that you've had. So if you have had experience with using the previous materials, and wants to share information about that in the feedback form that I'll share a little bit more information about here in a second, we'd appreciate that. And if you have any if you experience any difficulties, we definitely want to change the website so that it's as user-friendly as possible.
I had a comment or a question, is that in a past initiative for a billboard, I had to have it resized, and it ended up costing like $400 and some to get that resized. Has there been anything changed on that it can be resized by the printer who's printing those signs for the different type of billboards sizes there are?
I'm not, Abby may be able to speak a little bit more about resizing and things like that. Anything involved with that I only know enough about those things to be dangerous.
Okay.
Also, it probably is up to the billboard manager how much it costs to have things displayed on their billboards, depending on what it is. And if you want to have something printed instead of a digital billboard, it probably will cost quite a bit. I don't know how much. I don't know if that's a reasonable
Yeah.
expense or not, but yeah, it sounds like
And it wasn't for what they charged to print, it was
Okay.
what It Matters.
okay, I see.
The developer of that material charged to resize it.
Okay, I
So-
see. Yeah, and that's a area where I do believe we would be able to reduce cost quite a bit. Because the efforts that we provide for the KPC are part of our contract, and yeah, we don't want our services to add additional costs to you all at all. But for sizing and getting to the right size to print, the printing is all everyone else's expenses, but we do offer some support in resizing the graphics to get them to fit high definition images that you might need.
Perfect.
Abby, do you have anything else to say or correct me on any of that?
You did a great job, Chad.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for your
Thank
question.
you.
Thanks for your question, Vicky. It's great to see you.
It's great seeing you.
This is Stephanie Reinhardt. We have the KDADS team in the office today. It's more of a comment. Just a reminder that, as Chad mentioned, we want to ensure that we are supporting the community and our coalitions with these efforts. As far as any supplies that you require, the printing, all of that is allowable. And we would prefer probably the supplies line item, unless there's another reason why you would put it somewhere else. However, keep in mind that promotional items are not allowable. So for an example, if you wanted to print something on a mug, then we would cover, or you could get reimbursed for the printing of the actual image, but not the mug itself. Mugs, t-shirts. I'm thinking of things that would be big and you couldn't probably put this on a pin, but bags, things of those natures. It's allowable to utilize these mechanisms. We just can't purchase the actual tangible item.
Thanks, Stephanie. What other questions do you have? Okay, if you have any questions, the email at the bottom of the website is available, and feel free to submit any there. We also have a feedback form that we are going to put in the chat. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, there are lots of opportunity for that. And we promise our feelings won't be hurt if you have any opinions that you think something needs to be changed or if you have any concerns. These questions are optional. There's 4 of them, I believe, and if you only want to answer one, that's okay. You're not required to answer all 4. So please put your feedback in there. I would really appreciate that, like we all would. And this has been recorded. So if you would like the recording, I will get it edited down a little bit and then send it out to those who registered. Anything else, Chad?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, any feedback that you have, this site is intended to be yours, and these materials are intended to be benefiting you all and your communities for substance misuse prevention. And so definitely let us know how we can make it better for you all.
Thank you all for coming. We love seeing all of your names and faces.
Yeah, it's a party.
Yeah. Have a great day, everybody.